Okay, the next step in the grief process that we should talk about is bargaining. And again, it's so interesting. Every time I think about these things and walk through them, I realize a lot of times we talk about these things holistically as a good thing. Like, it's good to process grief and it's good to feel grief and work through it. But when we break it down into the steps, like we're like, it's bad to be angry, it's bad to be in denial, it's bad to be sad. And we do this with bargaining too. Like, it's bad to bargain. You're kind of petty or blind or flailing around. And I want to be able to reframe that and take it back to the larger picture of what we're looking at. We're looking at somebody who's experienced a significant loss, you or your spouse, and grief is real and it needs to be addressed and it needs to be worked through and it needs to be processed through. So recognizing these individual steps are good and healthy and normal and are okay for you to be experiencing these different steps, including bargaining. So if you find yourself bargaining, and let me give you some examples. It may sound like, I'll go to church with you every other week. Or if we go to the LDS church this week, can we go to the Unitarian church this week? Or I'll let you drink alcohol, but not in front of the kids. Or I'm going to drink coffee, but I promise not to buy a coffee maker. Like, all of these are different types of bargaining. And I just want to give permission, like I've said in the other videos, for bargaining to be allowed and okay, and not to make it mean that there's a huge problem or danger. That this is just part of the process of working through grief and change and transition. A lot of times bargaining can feel like somebody else is in control and somebody else is making the decisions for you because you're kind of asking permission. I see this with alcohol a lot. They bargain over, the spouses bargain over when you drink it, how you drink it, who you drink it with, how much you drink, all of these things. And it can feel a little bit like abdicating your control of the situation. And sometimes it can be helpful to see it as, oh, we're just going through the bargaining phase of this new mixed faith marriage. We're just figuring this out. And this is part of how we're dealing with our grief and working through our grief.